Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, August 18th, 2025. Today we will do MLB, WNBA, soccer, NFL preseason, Little League World Series, golf, NASCAR, NFL tight end rankings, news and notes, and best bet for today. All right, we'll start with baseball. We'll go over the weekend's results and look ahead to today's games. Pirates over the Cubs 3-2, Brewers over the Reds 10-8, Phils over the Nats 6-2, Jays over the Rangers 6-5, Braves over the Guardians 2-0, Red Sox over the Marlins 2-1, Mariners over the Mets 11-9, O's over the Astros 7-0, Royals over the White Sox 3-1, Tigers over the Twins 7-0, Yankees over the Cardinals 4-3, Rockies over the Diamondbacks 4-3, A's over the Angels 10-3, Dodgers over the Padres 3-2, Rays over the Giants 7-6. All right, Saturday, Cubs over the Pirates 3-1, Jays over the Rangers 14-2, Nats over the Phillies 2-0, Red Sox over the Marlins 7-5, Mets over the Mariners 3-1, Brewers over the Reds 6-5-11, Braves over the Guardians 10-1, Astros over the O's 5-4. On a walk-off, Royals over the White Sox 6-2, Tigers over the Twins 8-5, Yankees over the Cardinals 12-8, Rockies over the Diamondbacks 10-7, Rays over the Giants 2-1, Dodgers over the Padres 6-0, A's over the Angels 7-2. And then Sunday, Phils over the Nats 11-9, Marlins over the Red Sox 5-3. Rangers over the Blue Jays 10-4, Braves over the Guardians 5-4, Reds over the Brewers 3-2-10. So the Brewers' winning streak comes to an end on a walk-off. O's over the Astros 12-0. Royals over the White Sox 6-2. Twins over the Tigers 8-1. Yankees over the Cardinals 8-4. Cubs over the Pirates 4-3. Rockies over the Diamondbacks 6-5. Giants over the Rays 7-1. Angels over the A's 11-5-10. Angels scored 6 in the 10th. And the Dodgers beat the Padres 5-4 to complete the sweep. And in Little League Classic, the Mets over the Mariners 7-3. Okay, now we'll move on to today's games. Please, no pausing. ESPN app. All right, going on right now, bottom of the first is the Brewers and the Cubs. Scoreless. Games on MLB Network. Big game in that division with those two teams. 6:40 MLB Network, Astros Tigers. It's the AJ Hinch Bowl. Tigers minus 146, Astros plus 124, over under 8, overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Astros plus 1/2 is minus 156, Tigers minus 1/2 plus 138, Spencer Arguetti, Jack Flaherty. Spencer Arguetti just stinks. I'm sorry. And Jack Flaherty hasn't been as good as he was last year. So there's like an over case to be made here. So for this one, I'm going to go over 4.5 Tiger runs plus 102. It's a bet against Spencer Arguetti. Cardinals Marlins. Matthew Liberatore and Yuri Perez. Marlins minus 142. Cards plus 120. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. Cards plus 1.5 minus 182. Marlins minus 1.5 plus 150. I like the over. That's a low number. Blue Jays Pirates. Kevin Gossman and Paul Skeens. Pirates minus 112, Jays minus 104, over under 7, minus 108 to the over, minus 112 to the under. Jays minus 1.5 plus 162, Pirates plus 1.5 minus 196. So Pirates are favored on the money line, Blue Jays are favored on the run line. I'm going to go with the under because Pittsburgh's on an automatic win, even with Skeens. Skeens got lit up last week. I know it's a bounce back spot for him, but under's the play here because Gossman's good in his own right. 6:45 MLB Network. Also, Mariners Phillies. It's Logan Gilbert and Rangers Suarez. Phillies -112, Mariners -104, over under 7.5, overs -122, unders even money. Mariners -1.5, +152, Phillies +1.5, -184. We'll go with the Phillies at home, -112. O's Red Sox at 7, Trevor Rogers and Dustin May. Red Sox -120, O's +102, over under 8.5, overs -102, unders -120. O's -1.5, +164, Red Sox +1.5, -100. I like the O's at +102. Trevor Rogers has been pretty good. 7:15, White Sox Braves. Yuandris Gomez and Spencer Strider. Braves -210, White Sox +176, over under 8.5. Overs -132, unders even money. White Sox +1.5, -118. Braves -1.5, -102. Spencer Strider's hasn't been as good as he usually is. I think there's an injury maybe hiding. But anyway, I'm going to lay the -1.5 with the Braves at -102. 7:40 of the Rangers and the Royals. Jack Leiter and Michael Wacha. Royals -126, Rangers +108, over under 9.5, overs +102, unders -124. Rangers +1.5 is -92, Royals -1.5, +158. I'm going to go with the Rangers at +108. Doubleheader game 2, Brewers Cubs. I didn't realize Brewers Cubs was a doubleheader, so that makes sense that there's a 2:20 game. Chet Patrick's going for Milwaukee, and the Cubs is TBD. Milwaukee really separated themselves in this division. Looks like it's Jameson Taillon going for the Cubs. We're a -120 favorite. The Brewers are +102, over under 9. Overs -105, unders -115. Brewers +1.5 is -192. Cubs -1.5, +158. I like the over at -105. 8:40, the Dodgers and the Rockies. Yoshi Yamamoto and Kyle Freeland. Dodgers -295, Rockies +240, over under 11. Overs -122, unders even money. Dodgers -1.5, -184. Rockies +1.5, +155. Under 11, even money. It's a bet on Yamamoto. Getting it done. Fox Sports 1, 9:30, Reds Angels. Brady Singer and Victor Mederos. Reds -116, Angels -102, over under 9. Overs -120, unders -102. Reds -1.5, +136. Angels +1.5, -164. I'm going to go with the Reds at -116. I just don't trust the Angels. Guardians, Diamondbacks, Gavin Williams and Zach Gallen. D-backs -116, Guardians -102, over under 9, overs -104, unders -118. Guardians -1.5, +158, D-backs +1.5, -92. Guardians favored on the run line, D-backs favored on the money line. Zach Gallen has not been good this year for whatever reason. I'm going to go Cleveland. They have to, the Yankees kind of separated them in that last wild card spot over the weekend, so the Guardians got to get back on track, so I'm going to take the Guardians at -102. And then the Giants and the Padres, Robbie Ray and Nestor Cortez. Padres -142, the Giants +120, over under 7.5, overs -114, unders -106. Giants +1.5 is -176, Padres -1.5, +146. I like the Giants at +120. Robbie Ray's just been pretty good this year compared to Nestor Cortez on San Diego. Okay, now we'll move on to the WNBA. We'll go over the results from the weekend, and there's no action tonight. Friday, Mystics over to Fever, 88-84. Valkyries over to Sky, 90-59. Sparks over to Wings, 97-96. Storm over to Dream, 80-78. Aces over to Mercury, 86-83. So a lot of close games and in one blowout. Saturday, the Lynx over to Liberty, 86-80. Sunday, Fever over to Sun, 99-93 in overtime. Mystics over to Sparks, 95-86. Aces over to Wings, 106-87. Mercury over to Storm, 85-82. And the Dream over to Valkyries, 79-63. Okay, now move on to soccer. We'll go over all the results from the weekend and even into today. We'll start with the Premier League. Friday, Liverpool over Bournemouth 4-2. Saturday, Aston Villa Newcastle 0-0 draw. Brighton Fulham 1-1 draw. Sunderland over West Ham 3-0. Spurs over Burnley 3-0. Man City over Wolves 4-0. Sunday, Chelsea Crystal Palace 0-0 draw. Nottingham Forest over Brentford 3-1. Arsenal over Man United 1-0. And then coming up at 3 o'clock, you have Leeds and Everton. It's on USA Network. Leeds is plus 130. Everton's plus 230. The draw is plus 220. I like Leeds. They're a home favorite. I'm going to take them at plus 130. All right, MLS. From the weekend. Saturday, CF Montreal. DC United 1-1 draw. Charlotte over Salt Lake 1-0. Miami over the Galaxy 3-1. LAFC over New England 2-0. Red Bulls over Philly 1-0. Toronto Columbus 1-1 draw. Austin Dallas 1-1 draw. Minnesota over Seattle 1-0. Colorado over Atlanta 3-1. Chicago over St. Louis 3-2. Cincinnati over Portland 3-2. Orlando over KC 3-1. And then Sunday, NYCFC over Nashville 2-1. San Diego over San Jose 2-1. Vancouver Houston 1-1 draw. No games until Saturday. The Women's League. Friday, Washington, Louisville 2-2 draw. Angel City, Utah 0-0 draw. Saturday, KC, Orlando 0-0 draw. North Carolina, Portland 1-1 draw. San Diego over Bay FC 2-1. Sunday, Houston over Gotham 2-1. And then today at 10 o'clock on CBS Sports Network, Seattle, Chicago. Seattle's minus 185. Chicago's 5-1. The draw is 3-1. Seattle is playing a lot better than Chicago. I'm going to go with over 2.5 goals, minus 118. Next up, Liga MX. All right, Liga MX time. Athletic San Luis over Puebla 2-0. Leon over Necaxa 1-0. Saturday, Juarez over Guadalajara 2-1. Cruz Azul over Santos 3-2. Tijuana over Pachuca 2-0. America over Tigres 3-1. Toluca UNAM 1-1 draw. Sunday, Querétaro Atlas 3-3 draw. And Monterrey over Mazatlan 3-2. Bundesliga doesn't start until Friday. I thought it started over the weekend. That was my mistake. La Liga. Friday, Rayo over Girona 3-1. Villarreal over Real Oviedo 2-0. Saturday, Barcelona over Mallorca 3-0. Alaves over Levante 2-1. Valencia, Real Sociedad 1-1 draw. Sunday, Getafe over Celta Vigo 2-0. Atletico over Sevilla 3-2. And Espanyol over Atletico 2-1. And then today, 3 o'clock, you have Elche and Betis. Betis is plus 130. Elche is plus 230. The draw is plus 210. Elche as a home dog is very enticing. I'm going to do it. Plus 230 as a home dog. Serie A doesn't begin until Saturday, but they do have Coppa Italia. We'll eventually get into that. League 1, Rennes over Marseille 1-0 on Friday. Saturday, Lyon over Lens 1-0. Monaco over Havre AC 3-1. Toulouse over Nice 1-0. Sunday, Brest-Lille 3-3 draw. Auxerre over Lorient 1-0. Angers over Paris FC 1-0. Strasbourg over Metz 1-0. PSG over Nantes 1-0. we'll get to Carabao Cup tomorrow. Coppa Italia. Friday, first round. Empoli, Reggiana 1-1 draw. Empoli advances 3-0 on penalties. Sassuolo over Catanzaro 1-0. Lecce over Juve Stabia 2-0. Genoa over Vicenza 3-0. Saturday, Venezia over Montova 4-0. Como over Sudrol 3-1. Cagliari, Vitras, Intella 1-1 draw. Cagliari advances 5-4 on penalties. Palmero, Cremonese 0-0 draw. Palmero advances 5-4 on penalties. Sunday, Frosinone over Monza 1-0. Parma over Pescara 2-0. Pisa, Cesena 0-0 draw. Pisa advances 2-1 on penalties. Milan over Bari 2-0. And then today, Verona, Odessa, Caragnola 1-1 draw. Verona advances 4-2 on penalties. Spezia, Sampdoria 1-1 draw. Spezia advances 4-3 on penalties. Coming up at 2:45, Udinese and Carisse. Udinese is minus 280. Carisse 7 on the draws plus 250 or plus 350. My bad. I'm going to go with both teams to score, yes, plus no way. I actually like that a lot. And then 3:15, Torino and Modena. Torino's minus 10, Modena 6-1. The draw is 3-1. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at minus 106. All right, just have to do a couple. Oh, German Cup. First round results. Friday, Magdeburg over Saarbrücken 3-1. Union Berlin over Gütersloh 5-0. Leverkusen over SG Sonnenhof 4-0. Bielefeld over Bremen 1-0. Saturday. Okay, Saturday. Bochum over Dynamo Berlin 3-2 or 3-1 additional extra time. Hamburg over FK Priermans 2-1 additional extra time. Heidenheim over Bollinger FC 5-0. St. Pauli over East Norderest 3-2 in penalties, but 0-0. Hoffenheim over Hansa Rostock 4-0. So Illerston and FC Nuremberg was a 3-2 draw. Illerston advances 6-5 on penalties. RB Leipzig over Sandhausen 4-2. Wolfsburg over Hammelingen 9-0. Cottbus over Hanover 1-0. Freiburg over Sport Frendu 2-0. Darmstadt over FVB Lübeck 2-1. Sunday, Paderborn over Victoria Köln 3-1. Frankfurt over Engers 07 5-0. Schalke over Lok Leipzig 1-0 in additional extra time. Karlsruhe over Meselwitz 5-0. Gruther Fürth over Lohn 2-0. Cologne over J. Regensburg 2-1. Gladbach over Delmenhorst 3-2. Kaiserslautern over Eintracht 7-0. Holstein Kiel over Homburg 2-1. Augsburg over Hauser 2-0. Elversberg over SSV Ulm 1-0. And going on right now, Dortmund and Reese 0-0 draw in the first minute. Finals, Düsseldorf over Schweinfurt 4-2. Preuben Munster Hertha 0-0 draw. Hertha advances 5-3 on penalties. And then Mainz over D. Dresden 1-0. And then German Cup continues tomorrow. So I only have to do one more league, which is Dutcher Divisie. Friday, PC's well over Telstar 1-0. Saturday, Feyenoord over Excelsior 2-1. NEC over Heracles 4-1. FC Groningen over Heerenveen 2-1. And the Sunday, Go Ahead Eagles, Ajax 2-2 draw. PSV over SV 2-0. Sparta over SC Utrecht 2-1. AS Alkmaar FC Volendam 2-2 draw. NAC Breda over Fortuna 2-1. So there you have it for soccer, and I apologize about the technical difficulties in there. So now move on to the NFL preseason. We'll go over the results from the weekend, and then we have one preseason game tonight that will be on TV. All right, Friday. Titans over the Falcons 23-20. Seahawks over the Chiefs 33-16. We really don't have time to do statistics. We'll look at some stuff as the as the weeks go on. And this was a dress rehearsal game for a lot of teams. Saturday, Packers over the Colts 23-19. Browns over the Eagles 22-13. Pats over the Vikings 20-12. Texans over the Panthers 20-3. Dolphins over the Lions 24-17. 49ers over the Raiders 22-19. Bucks over the Steelers 17-14. Ravens over the Cowboys 31-13. Giants over the Jets 31-12. Rams over the Chargers 23-22. Broncos over the Cardinals 27-7. And then yesterday, the Saints and the Jaguars 17-17 tie, and then the Bears over the Bills 38-0. One game tonight, 8 o'clock, ESPN Bengals Commanders. It's funny, this was a Monday night game last season, and the Commanders had their coming out party against Cincinnati. And that's when everybody realized that the Commanders were here and the Bengals were not it. There's a preseason version of that. The Bengals are 3.5-point favorites. Totals 42.5. I assume we're going to see Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels. The backups on these rosters, I'm going to check now. Jake Browning, I think, is on Cincinnati still. Yep. Desmond Ridder, the former Falcon. And Commanders backup is Marcus Mariota and Josh Johnson. So the backup quarterback rooms for both of these teams are actually not bad. I think you'll see some Luke McCaffrey in this game, and Jalen Lane, former Cowboy Michael Gallup will get some playing time. Fifth-round pick Jalen Rivers will probably see some time at the offensive line. Taj Brooks, their 6th-round pick for the Bengals. I think the Commanders are going to cover, and they're probably going to win. I'm going to take them at plus 3.5 at minus 102. All right, now we'll move on to the Little League World Series. We have some games going on right now, and then we have games to look to. We might do a little bit of tomorrow's games. We don't have tomorrow's games up. So Friday, double elimination, Venezuela over Canada 4-0, Vegas, Nevada over Washington 5-3, Aruba over Panama 8-2, Connecticut over Hawaii 5-1. Saturday elimination game, Australia over Czech Republic 5-3, Massachusetts over Texas 7-3, Mexico over Puerto Rico 11-5, Illinois over Pennsylvania 3-2. Sunday elimination game, Washington over Massachusetts 3-2. Elimination game, Canada over Australia 12-0. The Mercy Rule game. Hawaii over Illinois 9-1, and Mexico over Panama 2-1. Double elimination today. Final, Venezuela over Japan 4-0. Going on right now, or about to start. South Carolina and Nevada. I have no idea who will win that one. Probably South Carolina, because it looks like they had a bye. 5 o'clock on ESPN is Chinese Taipei Aruba. I think Chinese Taipei wins. And then 7 o'clock on ESPN2 is Connecticut, South Dakota. I'll say South Dakota there. And then I believe there's more games, more elimination games tomorrow. We'll get to that on the show tomorrow. Now move on to golf. We'll go over the results from the BMW Championship. Your winner with the score 15 under, of course, the best golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler. Second, 13 under, Robert McIntyre. Third, 11 under, Matt McNeely. Tied for fourth, 10 under, Sam Burns, Tommy Fleetwood. 6 and 8 under, Harry Hall. Tied for seventh, 7 under, Victor Hovland, Ricky Fowler. Lovie Gilbert, who was my pick. 10th, 5 under, Michael Kim. 11th, 5 under, Cam Young. Tied for 12th, 3 under, Rory McIlroy, Ben Griffin, Harry English. Tied for 15th with 2 under, Ryan Henley, Taylor Pendrith. Tied for 17th with 1 under, Matt Fitzpatrick, Keegan Bradley. Tied for 19th at even, Kurt Katayama, Brian Harmon, Siwoo Kim, Jacob Bridgman. Tied for 23rd with 1 over, Shane Lowry, Jason Day, J.J. Spawn. Tied for 26th with 2 over, Achike Bahita, Teki Matsuyama. Tied for 28th with 3 over, Denny McCarthy, Xander Schauffele. Tied for 30th with 4 over, Justin Rose, Patrick Cantlay, JT Potson. Tied for 33rd with 6 over, Nate Taylor, Chris Goddard, Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas, Sarah Hogue, Bailey Cawley. 39th to 7 over, Corey Connors. Tied for 40th with 10 over, Sanjay M. and Lucas Glover. 42nd, 11 over, Scott Stevens. 43rd, 12 over, Ryan Fox. 45th, 15 over, Jonathan Vegas. 46th, 17 over, Thomas Dietrich. Withdrawing with Daniel Berger. Next up, the Tour Championship. East Lake Golf Course in Atlanta. So that should be a really fun tournament this weekend. Okay, now move on to NASCAR. We will go over the results from the weekend. We'll start the Truck Series from Friday night in Richmond. Your winner, Corey Heim. Second, Ty Majeski. Third, Lane Riggs. Fourth, Sammy Smith. Fifth, Corey LaJoie. Sixth, Gio Ruggiero. Seventh, Jake Garcia. Eighth, Ben Rhodes. Ninth, Chandler Smith. And 10th, Caden Honeycutt. The rest, Tyler Ankrum, Christian X, Grant Effinger, Tanner Gray, Carson Cavapel, Brent Cruz, Matt Mills, Connor Mozak, Raja Cruz, Bailey Curry, Andres Perez de Lara, Luke Fenhaus, Patrick Staropi, Tony Bredinger, Matt Gold, Matt Crafton, Nick Leitz, Spencer Boyd, Ryan Roulette, Caleb Costner, Dawson Sutton, Frankie Muniz, Daniel Hemrick, Stephen Malozzi, and Clayton Green. And then the Cup Series from Richmond from Saturday night. Your winner was Austin Dillon. Second, Alex Bowman. Third, Ryan Blaney. Fourth, Joey Logano. Fifth, Austin Cindric. Sixth, Kyle Larson. Seventh, Daniel Suarez. Eighth, Josh Berry. Ninth, Brad Kozlowski. 10th, Denny Hamlin. That was my pick. The rest, Zane Smith, William Byron, Chase Briscoe, Shane Van Gisbergen, Carson Osvar, Kyle Busch, Michael McDowell, Ty Gibbs, Ross Chastain, Ty Dillon, Chris Bell, AJ Allmendinger, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Cole Custer, Todd Gilliland, Eric Jones, Noah Gragson, Bubba Wallace, Corey Heim, Chris Buescher, Riley Herbst, Cody Ware, Jesse Love, Tyler Riddick, Ryan Preece, John Hunter Nemechek, Justin Haley, and Chase Elliott. All right, Daytona's next weekend for Xfinity and Cup. The Wawa 250 from Friday night and then Saturday night in Daytona. All right, NFL tight end rankings. Top 2 tight ends on every team's depth chart. We'll go from 64 to 1. So without further ado, here we go. 64, Gunnar Helm Titans. 63, Charlie Warner Falcons. 62, Julian Hill Dolphins. 61, Harold Fana Jr. Browns. 60 through 51, Elijah Arroyo, Seahawks. Tip Riemann, Cardinals. Cade Stover, Texans. Jeremy Rucker, Jets. Mason Taylor, Jets. Payne Durham, Buccaneers. Luke Farrell, 49ers. Drew Sample, Bengals. Johnny Munt, Jaguars. Adam Trotman, Broncos. 50 through 41, Mo Alley Cox, Colts. Grant Calcaterra, Eagles. Daniel Bellinger, Giants. Tommy Tremble, Panthers. John Bates, Commanders. Brock Wright, Lions. Michael Meyer, Raiders. Colby Parkinson, Rams. Josh Oliver, Vikings. Jatavion Sanders, Panthers. 40 through 31, Foster Moreau, Saints. Noah Gray, Chiefs. Darren Waller, Dolphins. Tyler Warren, Colts. Theo Johnson, Giants. A.J. Barner, Seahawks. Luke Schoonmaker, Cowboys. Luke Musgrave, Packers. Chickaconquo, Titans. Austin Hooper, Patriots. 30 through 21, Brenton Strange, Jaguars. Will Dissly, Chargers. Isaiah Likely, Ravens. Dawson Knox, Bills. Colston Loveland, Bears. Tyler Conklin, Chargers. John O. Smith, Steelers. Cole Kmet, Bears. Pat Fryermuth, Steelers. Jawan Johnson, Saints. Hunter Henry, Patriots. This is at 20. So 19 through 11. Zach Ertz, Commanders. Jake Ferguson, Cowboys. Tucker Kraft, Packers. Cade Otton, Buccaneers. Evan Ingram, Broncos. Mike Gesicki, Bengals. Tyler Higbee, Rams. Dalton Schultz, Texans. And Dalton Kincaid, Bills. And then 10 through 1, Kyle Pitts Sr., Falcons. David Njoku, Browns. Travis Kelce, Chiefs. Mark Andrews, Ravens. Sam Laporta, Lions. Dallas Goedert, Eagles is 5. 4 is TJ Hawkinson of the Vikings. 3 is George Kittle of the 49ers. 2 is Trey McBride of the Cardinals. And number 1, Brock Bowers of the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes. Again, your top 10. Pitts, Njoku, Kelce, Andrews, Laporta, Goddard, Hawkinson, Kittle, McBride, Bowers. I don't think tight end's as strong as it used to be. The guys that used to be your top 2 every year are out of the top 5, in Andrews and Kelce. I've seen decline in Kelce's game. Some may say that might have to do with his girlfriend, but others think it has to do with his age, like I do. And Mark Andrews isn't always healthy. So Bowers and McBride are guys are here to stay. And Kittle's actually been healthy the last couple years. That's why he's in the top 3. Or else some may say, oh, Kittle probably belongs in that group with Andrews and Kelce. Hawkinson and Goddard are right there. Laporta's probably going to be higher than 6 when the season ends. My big regret is probably not putting Sam Laporta in the top 5. I think Pitts, with better quarterback play, should be higher. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And then there's a lot of B-level guys, and even C-level guys, like Tyler Higbee and Cade Otton and Evan Ingram. But, there's not a lot of A tight ends. That's my point. There's a lot of Bs and some Cs. And the teams just need guys to establish, who could be higher than this down the road in their spot. Colston Loveland, the rookie from the Bears, I think could be higher than 26 come season's end. Luke Schoonmaker can jump. Obviously, Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft. Maybe Theo Johnson of the Giants if, Jackson Dart's the quarterback in the middle of the year. I mean, I don't think Darren Waller is going to refine his youth. I think they downgraded at that position from what they had last year. So, yeah, there you have it for the tight end rankings. All right, now move on to the news and notes for today. A lot of stuff to talk about from the weekend. So Brian Robinson is out tonight amid trade rumors. And ironically, their opponent for tonight, the Bengals, rejected a Trey Hendrickson trade. The deal included a second-round pick, and Cincy wants a young defensive player in the first. The Colts signed Xavier Howard, who last played in 2023, so he hasn't played in a while. Saints-Jaguars had a game day trade yesterday as the Saints dealt Kalen Sanders to Jacksonville after he started the preseason game against the Jags, which is funny. We'll see who picks up Brian Robinson. That'd be a good, cowboy. They can use an upgrade at that position. The Eagles beat the 49ers for John Mechie as they acquire him from the Texans. Teams interested in Trey Hendrickson include the Browns, the Panthers, and the Colts. I think the Panthers should go for it. I mean, they trade away Brian Burns, and Hendrickson would be a good fit. And plus, you're trying to be good with Bryce Young. That should be the team that should do it. And an insider strongly believes that the Bengals might have to hurt the trade return by waiting this late. The Colts QB1 decision coming soon as Shane Steichen is very close to choosing starter amid the competition. Joe Flacco got the starting job over Shader Sanders and others. The preseason All-America team came out in college football. We'll talk about that later. There's talks that Coach O may be coming back to college football down the road. Tennessee's new QB1 is Appalachian State transfer Joey Aguilar, who will succeed Nico Amaleva. Jim Harbaugh says that he's done engaging after latest NCAA punishment. Ohio State picks redshirt freshman transfer Julian Sayin, who will make his first start against Texas. Malik Neighbors has minor back problem as he hasn't practiced in almost 2 weeks with normal camp tightness. Matthew Stafford back in practice in full pads. The Cowboys think that Jonathan Mingo suffered a serious injury and loss against the Ravens. We all made fun of them for that trade last year. Now he's hurt. Travis Hunter didn't play against the Saints because of an upper body injury. Andy Dalton exits against the Texans due to an elbow injury. So replacing Masai Ujiri in Toronto is general manager Bobby Webster as they promoted him to the basketball of operations. The Browns signed Isaiah Bond, a 3-year deal, $3.1 million fully guaranteed after jury no bill sexual assault charge. So the Red Sox pick up Nathaniel Lau after being DFA'd by the Nationals. So Orioles prospect Samuel Basallo got hit by a pitch in his first at bat. That stinks. What also stinks is Marcel Mayer is done for the season as he's undergoing season-ending wrist surgery. That's not good for Boston. Zach Wheeler to the IL after diagnosis in his right upper extremity as he has a blood clot. Yikes. Hopefully he gets well soon. Notre Dame quarterback battle. Kenny Minchie and CJ Carr are still in competition. There's a shuffle in Titans practice as Cam Ward gets into it with Jeffrey Simmons. The Patriots are open to trading picks as Elliot Wolf says the team would move a first or a second for a big name. And then Harrison Bryant went to the Texans in that Mechie trade with the pick swap. Don't hate that trade for the Texans, and I don't know if I love it for Philly. They just need Mechie to unleash his potential to become a WR3. Because obviously they're paying all those dudes and they're trying to find lightning in the bottle. So Luka Doncic has a knee contusion as he will continue to compete in the Eurobasket with Slovenian national team. As he was scheduled to return today after getting hurt. So there you have it for the news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. This is a tough one for me because there are some baseball ones I liked, and then there's actually a couple soccer. But the soccer games are underway. So I am going to go to baseball. And the pick I'm going to go with the Mariners switched to a favorite on the run line against the Phillies. The Rocky games have been going under lately. But Kyle Freeland stinks so much the Dodgers might go over by themselves. But at the same time, this is a bet on the pitcher, not on a team scoring more than 10 runs. And then the Reds would be a good pick. I do like a lot of underdogs as well. So for this one, I'm going to go under 11. Between the Rockies and the Dodgers. For my best bet of the day. So there you have it for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything and looking ahead to everything tomorrow as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.